Yeah. Analytics off the chain, other channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game. I'm a headliner.
Yo, what is going on, Headliner Nation? Kyle back with the Fantasy Headliners. Breaking news in the NFL as the Deshaun Watson saga appears to have finally come to a close. And once again, I'm going to be giving you an update on this and how it pertains to fantasy football. I'm not an ethical reporter or journalist. I'm a fantasy football analyst. That's what I'll be covering in this video. Everyone has their opinions on the situation. I'm going to be covering it from a fantasy football standpoint, though. So just a few minutes ago, Adam Schefter tweeting out, the NFL and NFLPA reached an agreement on an 11-game suspension for Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. The settlement also includes a fine of $5 million, and that is going to go to charity. So that's what we're looking at right now with the situation with Deshaun Watson. He is going to be out for the first 11 games of the NFL season. And when he returns, he is actually going to be returning against his former team, the Houston Texans. So Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson's first game back is now scheduled to be in Week 13 at Houston against the Texans. So what does that mean? What is the outlook of all of this from a fantasy football perspective? The first person we have to talk about is going to be Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is a guy that where he's going right now in his ADP, I'm fine sticking with that. Amari Cooper is a low-end wide receiver 2 with me. One thing I want to remind everyone about is if Jacoby Brissett actually ends up being the starting quarterback for all 11 games that Deshaun Watson misses, that's great. And a lot of you are going to say, well, he's not a good quarterback. But Jacoby Brissett has not played on a team that has had the weapons at his disposal that he now has here in Cleveland. So I want everyone to keep that in mind. What he had in Indianapolis is not the same. So there is an opportunity for us to see a better Jacoby Brissett than we have seen in the past. I still think he gets Amari Cooper the ball more than enough to allow him to be a low-end wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 3 area at best. His current ADP is fine with me. I'm not moving Nick Chubb at all. Last year, among qualifying running backs, he faced the second most stacked boxes in the entire NFL. He did just fine last year. Teams have always stacked the box against him. And if you believe that Jacoby Brissett is going to be way worse than Baker Mayfield was last year, newsflash, watch some of those games from last season and tell me that Jacoby Brissett is that much worse, okay? It's not going to happen. Nick Chubb is still going to get his fair share of carries. It doesn't matter if he sees stacked boxes. It's never stopped him before. He's always faced stacked boxes. He's always been very efficient with breaking tackles, picking up extra yards after contact, and all of it. He's my running back 13 right now. I've got him going in the early second round. I'm absolutely fine with that. That is where he should be going. Kareem Hunt, nothing changes for me with Kareem Hunt. Maybe we see a little bit of an uptick in the passing volume, but not a whole lot more than what we've already seen. So if you're drafting Kareem Hunt, I'm keeping him right where he was. Honestly, I'm not moving a whole lot of guys because I already built all of that into the equation that we were going to be missing Deshaun Watson for a significant amount of games. Now, when we thought it was going to be fewer games a couple weeks ago, I moved guys up. Essentially, I'm just moving guys back to where they were at one point in time. If you're out there trying to draft Deshaun Watson in a one quarterback league, I'm probably skipping on him and not drafting him this season because even after he comes back from 11 games, he didn't play at all last season. He's going to have some rust on him. It's going to be difficult for him to really get into it and get moving and get going right away and producing those fantasy numbers. So in a one quarterback league, I'm skipping. Now in a 2 quarterback league or a super flex league, if you want to use a late round pick on Deshaun Watson and hope that he shakes that rust off prior to your playoffs, I'm okay with that. But we're talking later, like double-digit rounds. I'm not considering Deshaun Watson anytime before that. David Njoku's going to stay in the same place for me because, once again, like I mentioned already, this is a team that I already built this into. I already built this into projections and rankings. Thought it was going to change last week, so kind of moved him a little bit. I'm just going back to the original spot. So David Njoku is a tight end 2 with some tight end 1 upside for me this season. Maybe a good number 2 tight end to have on your team. The one guy that I'm back off of again at this point is Donovan Peoples-Jones. Donovan Peoples-Jones, I really liked him with Deshaun Watson. I thought he was going to be a guy that could stretch the field well. Kind of the Will Fuller, Deshaun Watson connection that we saw in Houston. Unfortunately, with how long it's going to take him to get back and again get that rust off, Donovan Peoples-Jones, I'm out on for 2022, but I'll be back in on for 2023. So ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Quick update, kind of my thoughts, where we stand with the situation, what's going on, and from a fantasy football standpoint, what should you be expecting from some of these guys? But hopefully y'all are doing well out there. Make sure you go get your draft guide if you haven't done so yet at thefantasyheadliners.com. If you're loving all the content here, consider becoming a member by hitting the join button down below. Hit us up over in Discord. Check out all of our exclusive content. But I'm going to get out of here for now. All of you, peace out. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And I'll catch you on the next episode of the Fantasy Headliners.
Analytics off the chain, all the channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game. Y'all stuck on third down. Your content's plain Jane. Headliners on top now. We gonna move and change. Podcast off the rip. Draft guide, so legit. Fantasy world, our game tight. You know we about that Chubb life. Stuck in a rut and you need some motivation. Head to the channel for this Headliner Nation.
I'm a headliner.